And who cares if you get it right or wrong? It's just about the feeling. There might be emotional releases, balancing, enhanced creativity, deeper connection, and sensuality. But there might also be fear and rawness. It's not a bliss bunny formula, guys. We're not trying to bypass the human experience through rapture and feel-good vibes only. You're stirring the waters, you know? And it's related to your wounding as well and your inner child. So be gentle and honor the process. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Inspiration. And trust me, by the end of the session, a knock, knock joke or the sound or the symbol of a knock will never be the same again. Today is an imaginal and sensual and playful mingling where we invoke muses and mermaids and melusine and magic, and we delve into the chemistry of inspiration. All the ways that life is in communion with you. All those pinprick and blinding moments of illumination. But first, and in terms of Venus-Inanna and the Venus mysteries, as I've shared with you guys before, Venus is said to awaken our life force energy and our creative urge, and to help our souls to remember our connection to the divine and our own divinity. And the second gate that Venus-Inanna passes through on her ascent into the sky is the gate of creativity. The initiation at this gate is linked to the sacral chakra, with the emphasis on earthly energies and physical embodiment. It's the seat of prana and our emotions, both the dark and the light. And it's the area of the body that is related to deep healing and inner child work. So once you've soaked up the guiding imaginings and archetypes and themes, you can then explore your own inner landscapes through and with your body by taking the bits that resonated with you and for you. The word sacral means relating to sacred rites or symbols. And the word sacred means holy. To make holy or to consecrate. You know, being worthy of worship and recognizing your holiness and being declared holy. At this gate, it's where Venus-Inanna reclaims her ankle bracelets, and with that, the gifts of the sacral, which are divine creativity, you know, sacred sexuality, emotional expression, and also emotional security. It also relates to having harmonious relationships and self-love, pure joy, lightness of being, and the eternal innocence of the inner child. The sacral chakra is often associated for our capacity for pleasure. And the ankle bracelets represent the connection to the body and the sensual experiences that are tied to it. The adornment of the bracelets, the ankle bracelets, can also symbolize grace and emotional flow and fluidity and movement. You know, it can even be flow of thinking, you know, flow of imagination. It doesn't always have to be flow of movement. And all these qualities, you know, the flow, the grace, the fluidity, the movement, the locomotion, all these qualities are essential for embracing and exploring the tapestry of creativity on your journey to self-discovery and as you clarify your own truth. They also represent both the constraints and the liberation of the emotional and the sexual energies. That intricate attunement, you know, between the physical and the emotional realms. It's the soul and the subconscious. And this that connects me to the phrase and the feeling of soul-footed, being soul-footed. When you're rooted and of this world, whilst also not being of this world, and also of grounding soul into this lived and earthly experience. Which makes me think of Jason Silver's beautiful turn of phrase where he recently spoke of us as metaphorical thinkers and as creatures of the sacred sublime. The first spark for me was, that famous Joseph Campbell quote that goes, doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be when you follow your bliss and what makes you enthusiastic. Now, the word enthusiasm originates from the Greek en, which means in, okay, and theos, which means God. And it's used to describe being inspired by or possessed by a god. Entheos literally means God within, and being enthused and divinely inspired. A few days ago, on a sunny morning, beach walk, I was reminded of a quote by Elizabeth Gilbert from Eat, Pray, Love that goes, I want God to play in my bloodstream the way that sunlight amuses itself on the water. Which then made me think of her talks on creativity, where she explained that in ancient Greece and Rome, people believed that creativity was the divine attendant, and that these spirits, called daemons, were magical and are magical and divine entities. They are divine inspiration. They would come into and come to the human beings. That whole belief around inspiration being divine and alive and moving from soul to soul, and that it's nature to unexpectedly enter and exit you at will if you're willing and receptive. It's entering into a contract with inspiration, to which you are neither its slave nor its master. It's like there's this secret language of unspoken understanding between you and the divine inspiration, okay? And there's this intimacy and this building of intimacy, and there's this asking to be birthed and to be expressed and to be shared and articulated. And often following this calling or this bliss feels incredibly vulnerable. Often when we enter into being in relationship with inspiration, synchronicity does get set in motion, and coincidences do cross our path, and signposts do appear. And so does fear, and so does doubt. For me personally, those things will come up around my ability, my worthiness, my value. Am I even qualified to be a human sacred vessel, to be the transmitter and the receiver, to be the midwife? Okay, once again, before the sun goes down, with this beautiful sunset behind us, this embodied experience is for dancing with and being danced by creativity. And it doesn't have to be a literal dance or movement piece. This moment is connected to infinite worlds and subtle energies that are circulating and alive with intelligence, knocking. So you can connect to sensation and your expanded imagination. You're sensating and you're opening up and giving this part of yourself attention. As mentioned, the initiation related to the sacral chakra is grounding, the energy in and through your body. It's feeling the waters. So we'll be flowing and swaying and undulating to the rhythm and the melody, which also helps to strengthen the root chakra, with the intention to allow you to feel more rooted and safe and free in this eternally creative and inevitably changing world and the uncertainty. The vibe is playful. It's playful teasing, it's subtle touches, it's inviting them to come and play, it's drawing them in, it's the act of receptivity, it's the download, it's the inspired action, it is the mingling, it is love making, it's being infused and infusing them. It's the magic of this alchemy and this sweet, sweet, sweet love. The intention is to encourage exploring your body, and your emotions freely, allowing for moments of joy and for self-expression that come easily, and also for those moments of vulnerability that reveal deeper, thoughts and feelings. It's all in relationship. It's all building intimacy, trust, and it's the sacredness and the celebration of your creativity and your sexuality. Okay, guys. So we're lighting it up. Ooh, playful teasing, that wiggle. It's that lightness of being. It's the energy of the wiggle. You can be right here if you'd like. Your way. Feel the difference in that. Now you can mermaid. You can mermaid all the way